Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Traders, I'm running a free training today and you're going to learn my #1 trading system that gets up with a 90% success rate and how to find these trades using a secret scanning tool and how I can actually have all my trading done in less than 1 hour per day. So I'm running this free web class today. So go to johnslivetraining.com or the very first link in the description right now. See what's happening right now. Let's go through a bit of a short term. Okay, so gold is pretty much holding really strong where we are right now. We're sort of just going sideways. A very nice big strong breakaway bar here, or a very big strong up bar through here. And then really not much going on. Sort of last couple of days having a bit of a work, but was sideways through here. So sideways through here, and then the market's doing what it's doing through there. So it's really interesting to see what's going on there on the that's actually gold there. So gold is holding up quite strong compared to silver. All right, silver had a very big strong up candle, then a very big strong down candle, and now we're just sort of going sideways. But notice my moving average here, right? The moving average really gives me a good detailed story of what's really going on here. You can see how the moving average started to trend down through here. So that means we had what I used to think about the moving average as like a wave or like momentum. If the wave or the momentum is starting to push down from here, okay, if it's pushing down and we're having a very nice downward movement, that means we have momentum behind it, right? And I'll talk about that in a minute about when we're looking at your trading setups and why that's so important. But notice what's happening right now, right? Notice how we're flattening out right now. That means momentum is slowing down right now. There's not a lot of strong momentum behind it, so it's flattening out. That means it's just simply going sideways. Bit of a tip for you guys is that if you want to jump in some good trades that have good momentum, right? We're going with the stream, right? Then you want to be able to look at the moving average and see what's actually going on there. And again, I'll share with you some trades that I've done over the last few months, and I'll share with you how that works and how successful that can be really be from there. And so that's happening through there. If we have a look at the SIOJ, we can see the SIOJ is starting to break out now. We're really starting to break out of this level through here. So the interesting thing on the SIOJ is that looks like we're really trying to start to, let's have a look at the weekly chart here. We're really holding this quite strong now, and we're really making a higher low through here. So it looks like the silver SILJ looks like it's really starting to heat up through here. Really heating up. We go back to that daily chart once again, and we can see that that's what's going on through there, right? Nice little low, higher low, a higher low, and now we're breaking up. We had a nice little breakaway bar from here, and now it looks like we're just at this resistance level, but to me it looks like it's probably going to break that there. SIL, same thing as well too, little gap up. We're probably likely to go for a nice move through here. We were going sideways for a little bit through there. All right, so the last sort of couple of months, as we can see, we were going sideways through here, very choppy, and then the market sort of took off from there. Let's go and have a look at the GDX or GDXJ. So let's start with the GDX, right? So the GDX on a short-term basis, we're making high, lower high, a high here and a lower high, right? So the sellers were lowering their prices a little bit. And look what's happening right now, okay? This is where the attention to detail when reading these markets. So we have a high, a lower high, a lower high, a lower high. We have this low point through here and a low point through here. Notice how we actually had this one support, 2 support, and then 3 support. So we had all this support level through here. Now look at this here, okay? High, slight lower high, slight lower high. What's happened right now? What's happened? It's actually broke up, and now see how it's actually broken past this high? That means the buyers are now starting to come in a lot more. They're really starting to come in a lot more, and we're seeing a nice big gap. We're starting to see a bit of a gap through here on this GDX. So that tells me that this is probably likely to be some sort of breakaway gap. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to start to run straight away. Sometimes it does. But But that breakaway gap is generally at the start of another move to the upside. Now it could be, or it might not be. We just don't know yet. And same for the GDXJ, right? Look at this here. It's so. You start to see what's going on here, right? So we have a high, then we had a lower high, then we had this higher high. So you can see how really there's called no one in control through here, right? So you can see where when the market's making lower lows and lower highs, the sellers are lowering their prices, higher highs, higher lows, buyers are raising their prices, uptrend. But when we get this sort of sideways movement, right, there's really no one in control through there. But look what's happened right now. Okay, we had this low back here, then we had sort of a higher low and another slight higher low. So notice how we're starting to slightly raise up through there. Okay, because you can see how the ultimate low was here. Then we had this ultimate low point was down through to here. Right, and now we had this ultimate low point was down through to here. So right, so we really had that point there. That was just slight, right? So that was just a slight higher low. But the market is slightly, the buyers are slightly coming in. And now, as you can see, right, we had this sort of a pattern come down through here, and we had this gap up, and now it's sort of just gone sideways. So that tells me that this is probably some sort of a breakaway gap. And if I look at, say, a year's worth of data here, I can start to see that this is probably now likely to run back up to 43. So that it may, now, for a few things done. One, that's not guaranteed. This thing could just completely reverse down. So, but the thing is that when it does start to move, I believe it's probably likely to start to move back up to 43. Now, guys, don't go just trade that. I see some people when I make these videos, they're like, "Oh, John said it's going to 43. I'm gonna get into this market because he said so." Don't. No. Only get into a trade that you know that works for you. That's based on a pattern, based on a system. That's so critical, guys. Never get into a trade based on a YouTube video or something like that. That's just crazy. With my coaching program, with my private coaching, I teach them what to look for, and I'm there coaching them to make sure that they are confident in what they're doing. So you can see we're getting a bit of a breakaway gap here, guys, and then so we're probably likely to start to see a nice move up from here, back up to that 43. And once again, same with the GDX as well too. I believe we're likely to start to see a nice move up towards that 30 to 31 right over the next sort of couple of months from here. It may be quicker, it may not be. GDX is actually not that far away from its high, so I believe we're likely to start to see a move up from there. But we're still in this pretty flat territory right now. But that little gap there tells me we're probably likely to start to see a move to the upside. Let's go and have a look at oil for a moment. All right, so oil's been pretty volatile, but we're still stuck in this overall. Yeah, we're pretty much still stuck in this overall pattern through here, right from there to there, and then there through to there. So we're pretty much still stuck in this overall pattern on oil. Really, not much going on there. If I go back to my monthly charts now, we see how we're still stuck in this overall triangle pattern through here. So over the next sort of, depends on what's going to happen. It's not really, if I go back to my weekly chart, you can see how there really hasn't been much going on with oil through here. I believe that's the calming effect before the storm. So the calming effect before the storm is that we've had really not much going on for a long time. Once we do start to break up or down, then we're probably likely to go for a big move. So if it breaks down, we're probably heading back down towards the 30 mark. If it breaks up, we're probably heading up towards that 110 mark there. So that's actually what I wanted to talk about there and share with you guys. Now, the last thing that I want to share with you when it comes to your trading, okay? And I really touch a lot of this on my web class that I'm running today, guys. Where you learn my #1 trading system. You can certainly learn how I scan the markets and how I trade and what I look for in a really good setup and how I trade options and all that sort of stuff as well too. And how you can apply this to any market. So go to johnslivetraining.com and you'll be able to join my web class today.